Hi, this is Joey Pants. I was Cypher in the Matrix.
Hey, this is Michael Popper, aka The Kid.
This is Captain Soren of the Vigilant.
This is Andrew Lewis Caldwell, aka Jude from Matrix Resurrections.
Welcome to the bottom of the rabbit hole.
Welcome to the bottom of the rabbit hole.
And welcome to the bottom of the rabbit hole.
Hey, all you little batteries out there. Gina Torres here, and welcome to the bottom of the rabbit hole.
Welcome to NeoMatrixology. This is the place to save the Matrix.
That's right. Welcome to the bottom of the rabbit hole. I am your host, Professor Lazarus. We've got our resident Matrix Online advisor, Vesuvius. Say hello to the class. You there, V? I think we might have lost his audio.
Well, I'm here, but I'm lagging a little bit. But welcome, Red Pills. We are back, and it is a very fun time to be a Matrix fan.
Say that good old MXO lag.
Lag Central, old Mara Central.
Yeah, no, like you said, we've got some things to celebrate. I don't even know what day it is. I know on Monday, it was the 20th anniversary of The Matrix Reloaded. So happy birthday to my personal favorite live action Matrix sequel. And shout out to Kavion Davis. I see you are on time for class. Welcome to the Desert of the Real. So the 20th anniversary was this week. And also, that same day, Monday, was the birth of the Agent Syndicate Online. So that was also a long 6 months to get there. But as I was explaining to you in the pre-show, it was a personal deadline to have that thing ready for you guys, for the anniversary day. And to be able to get it out on time was very special and a little proud moment for me. There should be a link in the description there for anybody who hasn't yet read it. And I'm definitely open to fielding questions. So spoiler alert, if you haven't read it, if you haven't done your homework, I'm going to try my best not to get into any spoilers, but if somebody asks a question about it, I don't mind fielding questions tonight. Yeah, thanks, man. No, I appreciate you for taking the time to read it. Kavion said he's enjoying it so far. I wanted to do something that was, not too short, but not super long. I haven't gotten a crazy amount of feedback yet. But I want to give people time to read it, check it out, and everything. But what was interesting, because going into it, I know people don't read anymore, whatever. But I had to find a way to keep making, fan fiction without necessarily having a short film budget. So this was kind of like that happy medium. But we'll circle back. I can talk about Agent Syndicate forever. We'll come back to that. We're going to let some more people pile on in the room here. Please do like the stream. Let other Matrix fans know that we are live. Share all that fun stuff. Signal boost. Let everybody know we're out here tonight. It is a late night. I know sometimes we get our international yellow pillars to join us when we do the late night thing. We're going to start with some, Matrix Reload. Well, yeah. First, we'll start with Matrix Reloaded because of the 20th anniversary, and jump into what little bit of actual Matrix news we have. Not a whole lot to report, of course, but oh look, hold up. I believe Scion is here.
Woo.
It's getting harder and harder to find a good spot at broadcast depth. Squiddy's got all the premium spots staked out.
Well, I'm glad our resident MXO hacker was able to find a broadcast depth location. And welcome. Say hello to the class.
Hey, all you yellow pills at Matrix University. Welcome to the bottom of the rabbit hole. And I hope everyone goes and checks out NeoMatrixology's new comic. I've looked at the first few panels and I'm just going to take it slow to enjoy it. Don't want it to be over too soon. It's a great job.
Yeah, I got a little distracted here because I sent out a tweet before the tweet about the live stream. Hopefully that went through. But the other tweet, I'm gonna try to send it again because I wanted to do something cool for the Matrix University Discord tomorrow night, but I don't want to get into details here. Dude, it's not even letting me send the tweet. That's crazy. So that said, we're going to be doing something at the Matrix University Discord tomorrow night. So if you're already on Matrix University Discord, you will see the announcement there after the show here. But if you're not, come and join us. The link is in the description. It is free to join. If you are a fan of Reloaded like I am, believe me, you will enjoy the activity. Yeah, it's singular. That will be participating in tomorrow night on the Matrix University Discord. That's really weird that it will not let me tweet this. It just keeps saying failed tweet. I guess it's a sign. That is so weird. All right, so I guess I'm just going to give up on that for now. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to rewatch quite yet, but I'm gonna fix that soon. Yeah, this Twitter problem has kind of thrown me off my
Posted
game here.
a very cool, iconic shot. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, and shout out to
And
Eon
that was
Proxy.
a couple hours ago.
Wait, you did what now?
Posted like an iconic screenshot from. So that's how I've been consuming my reload shots, and I'm going to be sharing those.
Nice. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Shout out to Eon Proxy from the Matrix University Discord. He is who created the graphic that you see in the thumbnail there. It was also what I used for the happy anniversary, post on Instagram and Twitter and the community tab on YouTube. And you can see there on the thumbnail, it's the side graphics, right? But one of the images he created, it actually has the credits, the names of the credits, as if it was following Matrix code. I thought that was really cool, like a really cool way to pay homage to the people that worked on creating those films. All right, so let's jump into the first little bit of news here. If you want to call it that. I saw this, right, because you guys, I feel like right now with Matrix University, the collectors are, providing the most like consistent traffic as far as conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys are hardcore with it, and I love seeing it. Rayvon says, I love Reloaded. It was probably the one I watched the most as a kid in 2003. Yeah, huge fan. Definitely my favorite live action. Right. So like I was saying, the collectors section of the Matrix University Discord, that channel can get pretty active. And somebody from over there brought this to my attention. It's actually dated May 16th, which is now yesterday, but whatever. It was today, like an hour ago. Let me share the screen here. Right, so it says the Matrix Diamond Select launches new statue line with Agent Smith diorama. And you can see here, this is the Agent Smith PVC diorama. It says as popular as the Matrix franchise remains 24 years after the original film's debut, there's a surprising lack of Matrix collectibles on the market. It's funny, weren't we just having this conversation in the Matrix University Discord? Wasn't somebody saying that they were surprised how much Matrix collectibles was made in like 3 short years? I feel like I read that somewhere.
Yeah, we were talking about that in Matrix University.
So it's funny that this article like says the opposite, but that shouldn't surprise anybody. That's why you come here, right? To get the full scoop. Shout out to Temet. He says, I finally made it to the live. Thank you for coming. And I appreciate all you guys. I definitely see Matrix University Discord in the chat here. Yeah, Kevion said he just saw it on Twitter, right? Yeah, no, I knew I saw it somewhere. So I figured I'd share it with you guys because it's probably like the most news that we really have that's related like officially, right? Actually, no, that's not true. We'll get into the NFT situation in a minute.
Have we seen the price point for this diorama?
I have not.
I think I scrubbed an article and saw it at about $60.
Yeah, this article doesn't say that, but I did see that same number that you did. It was like $59.99, right?
Yeah.
No, you're right. No, I did see that.
Not bad.
It's just not in this article, but you're right. $60. Thankfully, Diamond Select Toys is doing its part to end the drought by launching a new line of PVC statues inspired by the iconic franchise. IGN can exclusively reveal the first statue in DST's The Matrix line. Surprisingly, it isn't Keanu Reeves who kicks things off, but rather Hugo Weaving.
I'm wondering if we'll see characters from Resurrections in this new line.
Yeah, I mean, if they're doing the Hugo Weaving's version of Smith, I'm gonna guess they're not. It says the diorama is based on the cinematic fight scene between Neo and Smith in the original film. Yeah, and shows Smith attacking this foe.
Pillar.
Right. This is the 1000 punch, if you want to call it that. I don't know. Okay, I'm looking at this now. It's interesting that, like you said, they have him punching the pillar and not Neo, but that works. All the different angles here. It looks like it's well made. But yeah, where was I? So the diorama is based on the cinematic fight scene between Neo and Smith in the original film and shows Smith attacking his foe with a blindly fast series of punches. There's no word yet on whether DST is planning on a companion Neo piece, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. The Agent Smith PVC diorama measures roughly 10 inches in height. Oh, it does have the price in this article. The piece was designed by Nelson X Asensio and sculpted by George Santos Souza. It's priced at $59.99 and is expected to ship in Q1 2024. Okay, so yeah, it's not coming out until the beginning of next year, just in time for the movie's 25th anniversary. Right, the original film's 25th anniversary. Got it. Pre-orders will open on the Diamond Select Toys website on Thursday, May 18th at 9 p.m. Pacific time. So that would be the good news.
Let's say that Warner Brothers Discovery decided to release the original Matrix movie remastered in IMAX 3D. How many of our yellow pills here in the audience would go see that? I'd be down in a minute. I'd sit right in the center where the laser aligned sound meets, just for that beautiful surround sound during some of the fight scenes. So 25th anniversary, original Matrix film, remastered, IMAX 3D. Who's down for that?
Oh, you know I'm in there.
I'd have to travel, but that's something I would do.
And Temet says IGN seems to always have the first scoops when it comes to the Matrix. They did host the green carpet event for the Matrix Resurrections premiere. That's actually a great observation. Because I was curious, like actually when I saw this, you know, with it being an IGN article, you know, are these like little crumbs, or are we getting little test feelers to see, you know, how the audience will respond to new Matrix products? It's very interesting. Now, obviously, the timing is synced up with the Reloaded anniversary, but you know, I just, again, I'm not expecting a whole lot until we know what's going on in December with all the legal issues. So when I see stuff like that, or see stuff like this, you know, it does give me a little bit of hope that things might maybe be trending in the right direction. I mean, this is a new figurine. It's not like it's an old one that they're blowing dust off of, right?
You know, I do feel like he was kind of left out of part 4. Tricks related, centered around, you know, this iconic character.
Now, are you looking to add this to, excuse me, are you looking to add this particular piece to your collection?
Me?
Yeah.
This, for the price, I will probably pick this one up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the comic was around the same price, so I think it'll go. I think it'll go very nicely in the bedroom, probably right on top. You know, where my wife can see it as soon as she wakes up in the morning.
You don't have a whole floor dedicated to Matrix merch like our guy Calvin?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm working on it now.
Yeah, I know some people are hyped for that
Display,
video.
Unfortunately, I have it in my own little spot. More of a closet nerd.
So then to transition to the next thing here, it was interesting because when I tweeted out the happy 20th anniversary to the Matrix, not long after that, I noticed Lily Wachowski was active in her Twitter feed, which I don't see very often. But I'll jump to that tweet here because I have it ready. And here you can see she tweeted that she's, you know, putting in that work at the writer's strike. Lily Wachowski's got boots on the ground and picket sign in hand. So she let us know what she was up to on the 20th anniversary of The Matrix Reloaded. And you can see here, this is, I saw you ask, because I said the same thing when, shout out to Matrix Memes. When Matrix Memes tweeted earlier that he finally made it because Lily liked his tweet.
Did he ever respond? Do we know which tweet that she liked?
I'm showing it to you right now. It's on the screen.
I can't see that from where I'm sitting.
So yeah, he said "Get him, Queen" under that picture, and that's what she liked.
Aha, perfect.
I have found it. Super sleuth.
So he tagged Lily and Lana, but I was under the impression that Lana was not on Twitter.
Lana's, excuse me, you are correct. In typical Matrix fashion, both things can be true. So yes, they both have Twitter accounts, but that's what I'm saying. Lily sometimes tweets, and I still get a kick out of her favoriting the one that she tweeted to Elon Musk and whoever was the other person in regard to the red pill. I can just go to her. There you go. Oh, it was Ivanka Trump, right? So I'm not going to say that one out loud, but yeah, she favorited that. So it's pinned. Excuse me, it's a pinned tweet. But yeah, she's not super active, but Lily is definitely the one that sometimes randomly uses Twitter, where Lana is just like a Twitter ghost altogether. But she does have an account. And now that the blue check thing is all subscription based, it's even harder to tell who's who. But an account like that, Lana Wachowski with no blue check, and she never uses it. Like, if you saw it, you would think that it's a spam account or a parody account or something. So Lily is out there supporting the writer's strike. So I saw that, and I think that's kind of like it, unless you have any other official Matrix news. I think, the anniversary being this week, the new toy, the new figure, and Lily's tweet is kind of it as far as official updates. Oh, right. That's because I don't want to talk about the Matrix NFTs. But I guess it means it's time for that, right?
Well, let me do a quick Google search and just see if there's anything else that we missed. I don't know. Nifty's going to throw us another party?
Right. Well, I asked, so let's get into it. So I guess it was last week, right? At some point last week, the news broke. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I think it was last week, though. But at some point, the news broke that Nifty's is migrating their platform to Meteor, or rather, Meteor is taking over the Nifty's NFT projects, something like that. Whatever it is, sounds messy. But anyway, that's what's happening. Now, I did do some research since then. Well, let's go to the question, because you said, when are they having a party? I asked, right? So May 8th. When was May 8th? Yes, May 8th was last Monday. So it was last Monday, a week before the 20th anniversary of Reloaded. Nifty's tweeted out, right, this doesn't actually just show the thread. So right, it says system updating. So the article basically tells us, the part that I was saying before, in that, Nifty's they have a new partner, Meteor, who's going to be controlling the activities. And for whatever reason, they are shutting down the Nifty's website and migrating everything over to whatever website Meteor is building. So I saw the article, I read the article, but because, NFTs are so heavily intertwined with the crypto space, when I read what was happening, of course, I had questions. So that's when I quote tweeted it first to share the information with all the people here who have Matrix NFTs. I gave some away, so I figured some people would be interested. And I said I need somebody to slow walk me through this because we have questions. I thought that the article left me with a bunch of questions. So it said somebody from Nifty's right away was happy to help answer any questions you have. We're here for you. Now, what's interesting here is, I guess because I quote tweeted it, when I responded to this, it put my response in the original tweet, right?
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't see it under there, but when I go back to the original one that they tweeted, I can see my questions here. And so I said, will the airdrop allow me to sell avatars on OpenSea and the other places that the blog post mentions? Is May 22nd the last day for the Nifty's Discord as well? Because the article said that May 22nd is when the Nifty's website is going offline. I hope and imagine that means that the Meteor website is already up and running, but I don't know. That's just wishful thinking, I suppose. Right, I said I have zero success doing things like importing and exporting keys. What will I be excluded from if I skip that step? Now, I did find out the answer to that question since posting. And in my particular case, I had already synced up my NFTs to my wallet or whatever that step was saying we should do. I had already done it. I just forgot because we had done it a while ago for a different Nifty's activity. I don't remember which one specifically. But basically, if you don't do it, it's an extra step for you to have access to your private keys. But everything, as far as I can tell, is supposed to translate and transfer without you doing anything. So we will see. Number 4, it says the timing of when activities will be returning is unknown. The idea of holding on to base avatars was to give a future owner the opportunity to experience taking the pill for themselves. If there's a chance holding a base avatar will be useless moving forward, or even if that's up in the air, it would be nice to know that is a possibility before they're deemed obsolete. And then I asked, has it been officially confirmed that activities like pilling will return at all? We'll come back to that. Number 5, is there any posted Meteor roadmap for the Matrix avatars? Are they picking up where the Nifty's mission stopped, starting over from scratch altogether? Like, what's going on? Number 6, is there any rewards or kickbacks in the pipeline for the owners who are writing this out? And number 7 is when party? So that was the question that you asked to start all this. So as you can see, no one answered my question. So that's where I get frustrated. It's like, so maybe it was a Twitter thing, and that's where, I want to give the benefit of the doubt, because you can see if it'll let me go back. It might not. Yeah, as you can see, my question didn't show up directly under there, so maybe they didn't see it. I don't know. I mean, enough people liked it, though. I feel like somebody saw it, but who knows, So that's why I got frustrated, because it's like, yo, you said you're happy to answer my questions and then didn't answer my questions. But since then, I talked to Dr. Mark, and shout out to Dr. Mark, Tupper, who was on the live stream here a few live streams back, the Q&A, the mod, Wolfie. I mean, those guys really held this project down, like, for real. Like, those 3 guys are the reasons why I didn't come on these live streams and just go nuclear with frustration. They always kind of were there to give me information and, just answer my questions. Because a lot of times customer service is just talk to people. They just want to know what's going on. If there's a problem, a lot of times, if they just know what the problem is, they'll chill out, But anywho, that's a whole nother customer service conversation. But shout out to those guys, Tupper, Wolfie, Dr. Mark. And Dr. Mark did answer most of my questions. I believe in the Matrix Fight Club Discord, or he tried to anyway, to the best of his ability. Because, he's not technically a Nifty staff or anything. But right, so going back to number 4, he did say that he's already seen whatever the new platform is. So it's not like it's in limbo to the point where we don't even know if they're building something. He said he's already seen that they've built something, right? What activities we will be doing, we're not sure, but there's something. With that said, the whole reason why I kind of freaked out in that question is because, like I said, I bought base avatars and held them just in case, people said, hey, I want to pick the pill. I want to do that part. I want to start over. I want to start from scratch. So because activities like pilling may or may not return. I would imagine that they are returning, but based on what we've seen, there's no reason to bet on that. So what we're going to do tonight, I'm going to blue pill the base avatars that I was holding that have like special items like the ring, the blue ring, or I'm trying to think what's another good blue pill item, or like the jumpsuits, the purple cap. Well, I think I already blue pilled the caps, but any base avatar that I was holding with a special item, I will blue pill tonight. And there's one base avatar, Optic Dojo, thought that it had some white rabbit energy. So I told him I'd red pill that in a live stream. And we're going to go ahead and do that tonight just because there's a chance we might not be able to pill after May 22nd. Now, again, all signs... No, that's the wrong way to word this. It sounds like pilling will return when the NFTs migrate over to whatever platform that Meteor has in store for them. I believe everything is going from the Palm network to the Polygon network. All my crypto enthusiasts who know what's what and is in the know on that, please feel free to correct me in the chat if I'm speaking incorrectly or out of turn. I'm not neck deep in the crypto sphere. I only know what I needed to know for the Matrix NFT avatars. So that said, I believe that the NFTs are migrating from the Palm network to the Polygon network. Again, from my understanding of this transition, if you own one, you don't have to do anything but sit tight and everything should transition for you seamlessly. In theory, right? But that said, I heard Polygon is like having all these Coinbase issues this week. So, I'm doing my best to find the positives here. And the strongest silver lining for me personally is that without the Matrix NFT avatars, we wouldn't have Simulation Theory or the Agent Syndicate Online, which is now live. And that I am very much excited about. But yeah, just to run through. Well, yeah, I said we would come back to number 4. That's what I just addressed with the base avatars. We're going to pill some avatars later, just in case we can't pill anymore. And I like I said, I do have a couple bases that are available if anybody does want to jump on that within the next 5 days, because we don't know where this thing is going. But yeah, I'm trying to think what other questions were. Any other questions I said we were coming back to? No, I think 4 was just the one that we had to circle back to. Right, because there is no roadmap. And in fairness, Nifty's had a roadmap at one point, but we didn't get to mission 4 and 5. So even when there is a roadmap, that doesn't mean you're going to get everything that's on it. Right. So yeah. So when party, guys, I don't know. I'd love to believe that would be something that Meteor is interested in, simply because of how well the Nifty's party went. But again, I don't know. We're just kind of all in the dark here. But yeah, is there anything that you wanted to add to that, the whole Nifty's transition thing, V? Or do you have any questions? I might be able to answer some questions, maybe.
Well, I've got a blue pill. Oh, not a blue pill. I have a base.
So, well, did you have what was your plans for that base? I guess is the better question.
I was gonna wait until Matrix 5 comes out and the demand was up, and I was gonna sell it and put my kids through college. Yeah, I was just hoping it was gonna be valuable, and I'd make a decision at the time. But maybe I'll hold off for a few more days to see if we get any news.
Well, because I know you have a red pill and you do have a blue pill as well, correct?
I do.
If I were you, since you have one base, I would take that chance. I would hold on to it as a base. That way you have one of each. And you can say you have one of each. And to your point, if the value, should the value skyrocket in the future, you know, you've got that trump card. You can say, hey, I still got this rare base pill, or sorry, this base avatar that has not been pilled. And like I said, if I had to put numbers on it, I'd say a 60% chance we're getting the pill activity back. Because there's too many base avatars. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be crazy for them to. That's what I'm saying. That would be great. Matter of fact, I'll tell you right now. I'll go to their thing before the Nifty's Discord closes, and I can't tell you anymore. I'll pull it up and give you an exact number. But yeah, if you're gonna bring back an activity, you know, you should bring back the one that has oh wow, they took it down. You can't even see exactly how many were pilled anymore. Remember how it used to be on the right side? It's not there anymore. So I can't give you an exact number. But the last it was like 40,000, right? There was like still 40,000 unpilled bases somewhere around there.
That's more than I would have thought.
It was a lot, you know. Maybe 35,000. You know what I'm saying? It was in that range though. There was a lot of unpilled bases. So yeah, if I were you, I'd hold on to it. I do think, like I said, I think there's a better chance that the pill activity comes back than not. It would be, I think, tragic for it to not come back. Now that said, I feel, or I'm guessing, right, that number of unpilled bases is so high because of more so because of the people who bought the NFTs purely to flip them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how active they are in terms of keeping up with, you know, what's going on here, because obviously they didn't get to flip as many as they want if they still sitting on those bases, right? So yeah, so I guess what I'm saying ultimately is, you know, there's a chance that if they don't bring it back, you know, that could raise the value just from a scarcity standpoint. But we'll see. Like I said, I think that would be crazy to just like waste all those base avatars. And like I said, it might raise the value later on because they don't have the functionality or whatever, and that, you know, they're in their original state, so to speak. But yeah, that could go either way now that I'm saying it out loud. So yeah, like I said, if I were you, I would just hold on to it. But yeah, if you're like in panic mode like I was last Monday, you know, last Monday I'm like, man, I'm going to have to pill all these bases before the 22nd. Yeah, I kind of scaled it back. I'm not as panicked about it now that I talked to Dr. Mark, and I feel like there's a good chance that at the very least that activity should come back. But we will see. Like I said, there's no roadmap. There's no official plans. There's no, you know, there's no one telling us anything that is making me feel confident in saying, oh, this is going to go this way or not. So I don't want to put out bad information or anything like that. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see which way this thing goes and what activities come back and what they have planned, if anything. And like I said, I mean, I got something planned, but are we going to see it? You know, it's the Matrix. So you know how it goes with the Matrix.
Yeah.
Somebody could plan something. That doesn't mean we're going to get it. You know, they were planning Animatrix 2.0, you know, and yet here we are. So, right. Eon Proxy says Wachowski went on strike. Where it leads, it would be cool if this led to the creation of the Animatrix season 2. Yeah. Now, it's funny because I didn't read that and I made the Animatrix 2.0 reference. Yeah, I'd love for them to finish producing that and fleshing that out. Yeah, Temet, I was explaining what was going on with the Nifty's Discord and their website and all that stuff. I know you got a handful of, or rather, you can see your avatars there in your profile picture, which is pretty cool. I like seeing Goldilocks has a nice home. That was one that got pilled on one of these live streams, actually, the bottom one with the blonde hair. Yeah, he took the red pill on YouTube Live. And like I said, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that here tonight. In fact, we're probably gonna do that soon. But let's get into the Agent Syndicate. Yeah, V, because you were one of the first people to read it. You read the version, the proofread version. So, now you've seen the final version that has many of your notes in it, actually. So yeah, I haven't, like I said, I haven't gotten a whole lot of feedback. Now, what I did share with you in the pre-show, I did share it with Rarebit from the Matrix Online, so he did give me some feedback, which is really cool. I don't want to share exactly what he said because, like I said, I'm gonna try to avoid spoilers. But I thought it was cool that, like, what the thing that he said he was intrigued by, I thought was cool because, like, I could tell that he was intrigued by it because he picked up on the Matrix Online reference that it makes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm wondering if, like, what I was playing on was like a storyline that he developed. You know what I'm saying? But like, there was definitely, like, he could feel the connection there, so that was dope. But yeah, so what did you think? Like, I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna be upset if you spoil something. I'm just trying not to spoil it. But like I said, I gave the spoiler warning when everybody came in the beginning. If you're watching the playback, you heard it. If you're just joining us live, I'm saying it again. There may be Agent Syndicate accidental spoilers in this. I tried to give you guys a chance to read it a little bit there. But yeah, like I said, if you want to say something, you go right ahead. Don't let me slow you down with my anti-spoiler alerts.
No, I won't spoil anything. I'll give more of a review. It's a very good story. It's got it's clever because it picks up on details in Resurrections and plays on some fandom in the Matrix Online. But it takes an approach that I didn't really expect, and that's one thing that I like being in the fold with Matrix University. But then when you throw me something like that, and I'm not in on the creative process, and then I read it, it just feels so good to read something that it's kind of tailor made for someone like me that has consumed all of the media, and then I'm getting something new that springboards off of elements from all these different stories.
Yeah, no, thanks for taking the time to read it and helping with the proofreading and all that stuff. I mean, you did get to contribute and help throughout the process, and especially with the, you made the glyphs in the code that's on the website, so that's a big part of it too. So don't sell yourself short on the collaborative process. You were definitely, a big help. But no, I get what you're saying, and honestly, that's one of the things I was kind of worried about and still kind of do worry about, because like you said, it's tailor-made for us. Like, it's written from a perspective of someone who read or rather knows what happened in the Matrix Online, and somebody who saw Resurrections. Like you said, those are kind of like the two biggest places that reference are pulled from. I didn't really get into the comics with this one. So yeah, the Resurrections, and because timeline wise, it's supposed to take place in between the Matrix Online and Resurrections. So that's why I kept pulling from those two installments. So yeah, so part of me is like, man, I think, people who didn't play Matrix Online might read it and say, well, I don't know what he's talking about, and check out. So I hope that doesn't happen. The idea was that hopefully people will want to find out what they missed and what we're talking about, where they're like, oh, well, who is he making reference to? And maybe they'll dig a little deeper and find our, original Matrix 4 podcast and get those questions answered. And like I said, I don't mind answering questions here if people have questions, because that's part of the the fun for me as a creator, as a YouTube content creator, is that I constantly get to interact with you guys, and it's not just me writing something and then, oh, okay, that's over. They loved it, they hate it, whatever. No, we can talk about it. I mean, honestly, the reason why Simulation Theory was completely animated and so short was because I got so much positive feedback about the animated portion of Beyond the Glitch. So I try to take, you guys' feedback and, put that back into the positive feedback loop and, play off of that and work off of, you guys and the information and the positive feedback that you're giving back to me. So yeah, no, there was definitely a point where I just kind of let it all go and was like, if people don't get it, whatever. I'm just gonna do it.
No, it's a good story. The new characters are, easy to understand and see what they're looking for, and the architect. I thought the architect was written well. You got a lot of the Matrix Reloaded architect in that, and there's actually a new like element to him. He's a little more developed as opposed to just a roadblock for Neo.
Yeah. No, and honestly, I'm gonna put you on the spot here a little bit. Shout out to you, creds to you for the be efficient line. That's a little spoiler. That's an architect line, but I gotta give you credit for it because that was a Vesuvius note that I added. And what was funny to me was what you said, your note, like it clicked immediately because when I wrote it agreeing with you. Like I wrote it not in his voice on purpose, but then when it jumped out to you as not his voice, I was like, right, that wasn't a good call. You know what I'm saying? Like when you called it out, it was like, yeah, that's not doing what I want it to do. So that's why, when you said be efficient, I'm like, you know what? That actually works in his voice. That actually sounds more like him. So that actually worked out. So thanks for sharing that. And that's what I love about the collaborative process. Like people have good ideas, and when we put them together and hit that teamwork zone, man, this lone wolf thing, it's not exactly the way, if we're going to keep it a whole 1,000 here. Because yeah, I mean, I pulled up the website on the screen here. Like I said, you did the glyphs, Mez Racing did the animation. You got Purple Cap on the web design, and that's who designed the Webomatic rarity tool that we were using to, find out the attributes and the ranks of the avatars and find out how rare they were and place bids and all that. So, he's got the falling green code in the back of that. So that kind of, because I spent so many hours looking at that bidding on avatars, that was kind of the inspiration for having the code that you and Mez Racing worked on, Res Mason worked on for the background. So, who better to get than the guy who made the Webomatic background. I think he did a really good job in terms of like the layout and stuff. Like it looks better than I saw in my head. And yeah, guys, please, I'm gonna highlight this. Please download the free PDF version because, first of all, I'll click here so you can see what it looks like, right? I love the way that the motion is when you change the page. All right, so this is page 1 here. Right. So right, this is its own website, right? So, you pay for the hosting. So I don't know if this will be here after next year. It's hosted for a year, but we'll see how things go. So, definitely download the free PDF version so that way if it's not here after a year, the comic is still out there in the universe, the webs, and all that fun electronic digital stuff. So yeah, please take advantage of the free PDF version. It is my gift to the Matrix community. Oh, right. And while we're here clicking on tabs and stuff, right? So this takes you to the NFT avatar collection. I'm gonna click that real quick here. And the top ones are the ones that are for sale, right? But I wanted to show you guys, right? So, right, there's Agent Gil. There's Agent Jarrell, you know, the characters in the collection that inspired the characters of the comic, right? There's Vasquez with her silver axe. I know Lewis is all right. Agent Raymond, and he does have a twin. I just don't own it. And the guy who does own it won't sell it to me. Believe me, I offered generously. And if you're out there, Big Sam, holla at me, yo. Right, and here's Miss Agent Lewis right here. So, all right, and there's Agent Hammond. So those are all of our characters. Now, this one has the outfit and a shotgun and a silver staff, but I didn't acquire her till like maybe a couple months ago. So the the comic was already written by the time I acquired her, and I already kind of like I feel like I already have maybe one or two too many characters maybe, but yeah, maybe she'll come up as a villain later if the story is continued. I don't know, but I did catch one more, or like you said, maybe if a Matrix 5 comes out and the Agent Syndicate blows up, maybe she'll be worth a whole bunch on the secondary market because of her outfit and all that fun stuff. Who knows? Right, but I wanted to go back also because there will be a change here. Well, first let's go to the Matrix Unigear Teespring. Right, because that's what I wanted to say. Because you guys know I'm really bad at this stuff, right? But there is the merch shelf should be on the YouTube channel now. I think it's all synced up, right? But yeah, any whatever little cut or profits they give me from Teespring from any merch that's bought will go to the budget of the next project, be it an animation or Agent Syndicate Volume 2. And yeah, that was something that somebody asked me. I think it was the Matrix Fight Club Discord, just like what's next. And I was like, that's a great question. I might do a poll later. I was thinking of a short animation that might be cool as a follow-up to the Agent Syndicate. What would be the next scene kind of thing. I don't want to go into details because I don't want to spoil it, but that was something I was thinking about as a possibility. So again, any merch you buy will basically be donating to that. And of course, there is the PayPal and the Cash App donation at the description in every video. If you just wanted to contribute that way, but we got some cool T-shirts here. I wear this stuff all the time. So yeah, I'd love for you guys to have some physical objects to go with your contribution. Right, so that's the T-shirt stuff. Right, so again, Eon Proxy on the design, man. Shout out to you. He designed the Matrix University blue logo, the Matrix University green and yellow logos, and he also designed the Agent Syndicate logo. So that's all Eon Proxy. He is one of our A+ students at Matrix University. Right, and then if we go back here, we're going back to the links here. Obviously, this first link brings you to Matrix University. So again, that's also free. You can join us there. This just brings you back to the YouTube. If you're here, you're already there. Twitter, Instagram. We just saw the Teesprings. And this is the Resurrection Code Sneakers, right? Bam. Now, Vesuvius and I always look like twins when we go out because we both rock our Resurrection Code Sneakers. But what's not on the site, which we're going to have to add, because like I said, we were in such a rush to get everything done for the 20th anniversary. What's not on the site is we actually did a new code sneaker, and this is the red pills. So these were designed recently. I just got the notification from Italy that mine have been shipped, so I am patiently waiting to get these bad boys in the mail. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going for the comfort. It's got the red code here. The red code streams in the tongue there on the front side, and this is the inside. Inside the tongue is the NeoMatrixology logo there. And that's the box. Yeah, you can speak to the boxes. The shoe boxes by themselves are so hard.
Yeah, it's good quality. Sneakers quality. The packaging is very nice. It fits.
Yeah, speaking of fit, that's one thing. If you're like over 6'9", you probably don't want to buy these shoes because they might make you a little taller. So that's a thing. But if you're under 6 foot, I definitely recommend them. And right, so that was the right. So we're gonna add that button. I don't know if we're gonna swap them out. I'm gonna try to get them to add it here in between these two. So that might be coming in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, so that's the tour. Please definitely go ahead and read it for yourselves. Like I said, I'm here to answer questions. Download the free PDF version. And yeah, we're getting ready to hit that hour mark, so I think it's time to get to the pillings. Unless there's anything else you wanted to add, V or Scion, before we jump into taking this red and blue pill.
Pill those bad boys.
I'm gonna do blue first. We're gonna go blue first. So see, I got this up here, right? Oh, okay, right. So this one here, she's got this one blue ring here is pretty rare. In fact, there's two different kinds of rings. There's the 2 gold rings and the 1 blue ring. This one is the more rare of the 2. Right. So here you can see, where is she? That's the 1 blue ring girl. See, right, like this jumpsuit girl, I wanted to keep her as a base because I already have. Oh, okay, my bad. So I gotta pill all the jumpsuit girls too, because she's like really rare. I think her score is over 1,000 or something crazy. She's gonna take a blue pill. She's gonna take a blue pill. This cardigan here is pretty rare as well, but I think I'm gonna leave her as a base. Blue lunchbox is taking a blue pill. I'm just basically getting an idea of who needs to get the blue pill, right? Jumpsuit gets the blue pill. Now, this is the first avatar that I purchased like during launch. So I'm going to keep her as a base just for sentimental reasons. She's going to remain pillless, her and her cardigan. So yeah, I think my cardigan gang is going to remain no pill. Right? The glitch heads, you cannot pill them or else you will ruin their glitch head. But like this one and this one are ones that I bought to resell later. So I'm right. She's getting the red pill for sure tonight. This guy's got 2 rings, so I think he might catch a blue pill tonight. And she's got 2 rings. She's got the jumpsuit, so she's definitely taking the blue pill. Maybe he's not, but she is for sure. All right, so let's get started with the 1 blue ring. Start. We're going to start the missions. We're going to skip the message, but we're going to choose the blue pill. All right, here we go. Now, again, the blue pill isn't going to change anything. What we will see more attributes in her stats, but that stuff doesn't necessarily appear right away. Okay. Okay, who else did we say? All right. All right, Mr. Lunchbox is getting a blue pill. Blue Lunchbox, that is. Confirm. Okay, we got a question here. May I ask a question? It's been a while since I tuned into you guys. Any news on if Matrix 5 is happening or was for the final for the quadrilogy? You want to take that one, V?
No news. The franchise is still held up in a legal battle between Warner Brothers and Village Roadshow. Has to do with the dual release on theaters and HBO Max. And it's been a slow-moving process, so there's no new details.
Yep. Couldn't have said it better myself.
I was really hoping for a fifth movie featuring the new crew. Love to see Bugs and Lexi and the rest of them get their own story, their own villains, their own adventures. I was really looking forward to like Matrix 5 Memnazine or something along those lines, you know. So I want to see that new crew spotlighted, not just the ones who rescued Neo and Trinity.
Okay, where's my other jumpsuit ladies? There she is. There's my girl with the 2 rings. There's it. Got that gold ring. So yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little frustrated that I'm blue pilling them right now, just because it feels like it's forced and not a choice. You know. you call that a choice?
Oh boy, the themes are just woven into reality.
He says, "What's the idea between the opposite sides? Why are they fighting exactly? Obviously legal rights, but is the Wachowskis involved in the ordeal? I don't know how much involvement they have in this conversation specifically, but I did go into detail about the lawsuit, right? I'm looking for the link for you right now, my friend. Nope. Get shareable link. Yes. I just dropped that link in the chat. What that is a link to a conversation I had with Cyberpunk Matrix in a Twitter space where I kind of answered your questions in detail based on the legal documents that were public record at that time. Since then, everything has been moved back into arbitration. So any conversations that might be had are private, and we do not have privy to that information. It's not like the public record of the original lawsuit. So I don't have any updated information, but that Twitter space will give you a detailed idea of the rundown and what's going on. What else is up here? All right, I'm missing a jumpsuit girl. Right, 21 Jump Street. There she is. And this is the one with the high score. That's why I'm like really annoyed that I'm about to blue pill her. Now again, it shouldn't affect her score because the blue pill will leave her items the same. It's not like taking the red pill where her appearance will completely change. But I liked her as a base. But blue pill she gets today. I think that was the last one that I said I had to blue pill. Okay. Right, because that's my original base. She is a resell. Oh, nope. Forgot the blue denim. She gets blue pill. Yeah, we usually, he said, why am I the only one talking? It's kind of late for us here on the East Coast. We usually do these like 3-4 hours earlier. But we wanted to get this out, and we had to work around schedules. But I am glad that we are doing this live, recording it, and like I said, tomorrow on the Matrix University Discord, we're gonna have a little surprise. It's a shame that they wouldn't let me tweet about that, but like I said, I'll put it in the announcements, and the link for the free Matrix University Discord is in the description, so you can go there and check out the announcements after the show to see what we got going on. Okay, so I think that brings us to the end of the road here. Everybody who took the blue pill, who was scheduled to take the blue pill tonight, has done so. So now let's get to the fun part. Let's take that red pill. Where is she? Where's the one that Optic Dojo said had blue hair, white rabbit energy? What's going on with the scroll bar there? Nope. Where is she? There she is. Let's go. Temet says Neo should be captain and have Bugs join his crew. She did go against Niobe's orders. Also have Poppers recruited to the crew as a finally moment. He did say he wanted to join the Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, let's choose our pill. Oh, real quick, I see this. He says, I have another question. What's your favorite scene from Resurrections? It's a good question. Favorite scene? I don't know that I thought about that.
I like Lexi talking to Neo about Trinity. That's my favorite scene.
That was high on my list. It definitely popped in my head. It's definitely a really good scene, and I think it's probably one of Aaron Deer's like best deliveries. Like I really believed her in that moment. But let's see, favorite scene. Well, I can tell you what my favorite shot is. My favorite shot is when you first see Codex Morpheus under the blue light that looks like he's in the Skynet time displacement equipment. That was definitely my favorite look. Not my favorite scene, but my favorite look. Yeah, I got to think about that. There's a lot there. I don't know. I guess I did like the Bullet Time 2.0. I know it wasn't everybody's favorite, but there's something about the way Lana Wachowski information dumps that it just does something for me.
I'm going to go with, at least for the most exciting, from the moment Neo wakes up in his pod until they unplug him from the dojo scene when he wrecks Morpheus. That whole series of sequences, because once he's unplugged, you get that feeling of, okay, here we go. We're in the real world. And it was interesting because I was sitting in the theater thinking, now in the original film, the unplugging sequence was rather quick, and then there was kind of a slow welcome to the real world, here's what it's all about, and it kind of goes at a slower pace until bam, the dojo scene fight hits, and then it's all the way up. So I was thinking, are they going to do that again? Or okay, we've just had him unplugged, how long is it going to take before we get him into the construct and see him fighting? And they went right to it. So that just the pacing of that, the beat of that, the excitement of that whole sequence of like, all right, now we're not only in the real world, but we're into our first Neo fight scene. So that's what I really like.
Yeah, like I said, the pacing there, it was a nice change up. All right, here we go. Red pill. Let's do it. Take the red pill. Do it. Blue rabbit. Blue hair, white rabbit. Blue rabbit. Blue hair, white rabbit. Let's go, white rabbit. Blue hair, white rabbit. Come on, white rabbit tattoo. White rabbit tattoo. White rabbit tattoo. Go, go, go. Let's go. Okay. No white rabbit tattoo, but she did pop up with the silver SMG there. So I'll take that. You know, I'm a weapons collector. I got to think about whether or not I want to do another one. I might have to stop there tonight. She might get a pill. Maybe. I'll think about it. It's how did you guys feel about the music? I'll be honest with you. I was really excited going in because of what I had heard about the approach. After seeing the Matrix Resurrections, I thought it was good. I didn't think it was out of place. I thought it fit, but I did think that you know, the original composer had a slight edge over the Resurrection score or soundtrack, so to speak. His name is escaping me right now, though.
Davis?
Don Davis. Yes.
Yeah, I enjoyed the music. I think the only thing that I was unhappy with was the fight scenes.
Yeah, no, that was definitely a difference. The lack of whooping. Right, and here he mentions the absence of the greenish tinge filter. Right. Well, it's a new system, and also more importantly, a new cinematographer. You know, that sunlight thing is a John Toll thing, but you know, you said your favorite scene was the rooftop, and a lot of that look is because they shot it in, you know, natural sunlight. Temet says, my favorite scene is when they introduce Agent Smith, especially the beautiful Agent Smith face punch statue in the background in his office.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, there was so much meta. But yeah, yeah, I guess I'm debating here if I want to pill one more. I don't know. I don't know if I should quit while I'm ahead because I got that silver SMG. If I pill something and it comes up, you know, empty-handed or lame, I'm going to be upset. You know, I'm like, I'm feeling good about that silver gun right now.
Well, end on a high note. We can always come back.
Well, can we? That's the whole thing.
Well, the next couple of days, we can do one on Instagram or something.
Yeah, I guess we'll save the next one for when Meteor brings back the pilling, and we'll be the first ones to actually. Josh will probably be the first one to pill on the new platform, but we'll be the second ones to record pilling on the new platform. Yeah, so again, I want to just say thank you to everyone who has taken the yellow pill, who has subscribed to this channel and supported this channel. Without you, there would be no Agent Syndicate comic because, like I said, I made it for you guys. I made it for those who have taken the yellow pill, who, if they don't know the references, want to know the references. This thing is chock full of sound Matrix references. You know, I did my best to double check and make sure that nothing I was saying would conflict or contradict anything that we had seen already in the official canon. You know, I take pride in trying to make fan fictions that fit within the existing material. But yeah, now that it's done, it's there for you to read and consume and download for free. And, like everything else in this Matrix University movement, I just hope it inspires you. I hope it makes you want to take action or pick up a pen and write or type or draw or create or any kind of thing that would help you move forward. That's the idea, is to help people want to take action and just do something, whatever it is that you want to do. I don't know what that is, but hopefully you'll think about it and then go out there and bust a move. And yeah, like I said, it should be up. It should be hosted for the rest of the year. We don't know what will happen after that year. In this space, it's crazy how different things are a year later. I mean, looking back this time last year, we were revving up to go to a Matrix party, right? By now we knew that it was happening, I believe. Actually, we might not have known. It was kind of last minute. We might not have known yet. We might not have found out about that for another week, actually, now that I'm looking at the calendar. It was definitely sudden. But the point being, a year ago, we didn't know that the NFTs were going to be migrating over to Meteor either. So yeah, like I said, those characters that you see on the screen were inspired by Matrix NFT avatars. So, without that project, I wouldn't have written this comic. So hopefully it helps tie things together. Hopefully it helps bridge the gap between Resurrections and the Matrix Online. That's what I wanted to say. So now, for anybody who was curious as to whether or not the Matrix Resurrections decanonize the Matrix Online, the answer to your question is emphatically no. Because if you read the Agent Syndicate, you will see that they are still connected and that everything can play nicely together and still fit, and still be canon together. So there's that. So is there anything are you all right? Well, V, what did you say you were working on in the pre-show?
Pre-show. Well,
Yeah.
I am working on the fight analysis for Reloaded. I tried to get it done for release date. I still got some time, but I'm about halfway through it. So, I'm just going to address those criticisms on in these fight scenes. That seems to be the theme. So I'm going to address those.
Yeah, you broke up and faded a little bit there. So you said you were going to address those criticisms, and then it cut you off.
And I'm going to analyze the fight scenes and just show how they relate to one another through the story. And it is going to be dependent on Revolutions.
Okay.
So there will be a part 2. But I'm enjoying doing it, and I got my process down. Do a little bit every day, and shouldn't be too much longer. Of course, I will put that out on Instagram.
Yeah, no, and that's a key phrase you said there. Doing a little bit every day. No, that is definitely the process, man. Like, that's how Agent Syndicate got done. Just a little bit, until we finally got here. 6 months later, we're here, but it is done.
Speaking of that same process of little bit by little bit by little bit, we guess we can tease that episode 2 is being edited now.
Simulation Theory, yes.
Simulation Theory, episode 2 in 4K, Ultra HD. That's why it's taking a little bit longer. A lot of bikes to shovel around.
Big files. Those are big files.
Yeah, but little by little. And we probably will be shooting some more footage, some pickup footage in the Matrix Online emulator, and maybe calling on the community to help out with that too. thanks to everyone who helped out the first time, and stay tuned for that episode.
Yeah, for sure. And to that point, not that we talked about this before, but yeah, I think, like I said, we're working, or you're working on editing the follow-up. I guess that's episode 2, or however we're going to word that. And I think the next, like I said, having people shoot the emulator, I think we're going to do it like, Reloaded and Revolutions, shoot part 2 and 3 together. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great idea.
So, yeah, just want to put that out there. Well, all right, we are well over the 1 hour mark. Wow, where does the time go? But yeah, as always, thank you guys so much for taking the yellow pill, hanging out with us, sharing your passion with the Matrix with all of us. Again, the Matrix University Discord is free. There's a link in the description. It's the first link on the Agent Syndicate.online website. We are there hanging out, talking Matrix every day. It'll be a pleasure to have you guys join us there. If you're like, where is Professor Lazarus? That's where I'm at every day. So definitely check that out. And again, this is something that is very near and dear to my heart. This whole Agent Syndicate online project being live. I'm kind of still in shock, I guess, a little bit. Just because it took so long, and there's so much of my passion for the franchise in this. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, I am here to answer them. Oh, right. And that's the other part that I am really bad at saying, or asking rather. But yeah, this is the part, now that it's done, this is where I need you most, because it's got to get out to all the Matrix fans we can get it out to. So any Matrix spaces that you know of, anywhere you can post it. I mean, you can go old school and post it on message boards if they ever talked Matrix. Wherever you think there might be a Matrix fan who can appreciate it, please share it with them. Like I said, I want this thing to go all the way to the moon. And, if it does okay, who knows what can come from this, and what installments will be next. But what I will tell you from this experience, from writing this story, from pouring so much of my Matrix knowledge and passion for the universe, or the Matrix universe, into this project, what I learned about myself is I can do this all day. So hopefully you guys appreciate it. Hopefully this is the beginning of something special. And on that note, class is dismissed.